Greetings, Teen Zone fans and graphic novel enthusiasts. It's Mr. Tone, also known as Chap in the Cap. Good to see you. Continuing on with our reading of the classic and, dare I say, historic graphic novel by the title of Mouse, written by Art Spiegelman. We're getting pretty close to the end now. 2 chapters left. And today's offering will be chapter 4 of Mouse, Volume 2. And let's go ahead and get us to the screen share. Now, again, keep in mind that the story is essentially 2 stories. It's a story being told within a story, okay? And they're both true. So they're not, it's not like we're making up stories here. We're talking about a father and son, the son being a graphic novel writer and illustrator, and getting the story from his father about his surviving the Second World War in various prison camps. So anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the slides. Let's see if and yes, there we are. But, all right, share that. I'm going to shrink up there I am, and get this out of the way. Go full screen, and here we go. Chapter 4, Mouse, Volume 2. Saved. Back in Regal Park, late autumn. Always I saved. I saved only so I can have a little something for my old age. So now I have my old age, and look what I have. I have a tank with oxygen, and I'm so weak with my heart and my diabetes, I can't live anymore alone. I have so much room. You and Francois can come and, for no rent, live here by me. No, that's totally out of the question. So, how have I to live, Artie? Tell me. To go to a retiring home? It's not for me. Well, why not get a live-in nurse? You can afford it. And what will my neighbors say to it if they see a woman is living by me? What? So hire a male nurse. Yeah, you and Mala, you don't know to make money, only to make it disappear. If I give Mala $100,000 over to her name, then she'll live again here. This, you advise me? It's up to you. What's going on here? I only don't know how to arrange myself. Maybe to your room I can find a tenant to take care of me. Maybe. Well, come. We have now to carry up my storm windows to put in. Shy. I was hoping you'd tell me more of your story. This we can talk maybe after. But already I'm cold. I lose money a heat with no storm windows. In other years, I put by now the windows that I didn't need help. Look, I'll do it. But first, just tell me more about Anya. Anya? What is to tell? Everywhere I look, I see Anya. From my good eye, from my glass eye. If they're open and they're closed, always I'm thinking of Anya. I meant when you were in Dachau. Where was Anya? I don't know. To different camps. She marched from Auschwitz earlier, as me, and came also through Grossrosen. And then, I don't remember. But how did Anya survive? Nancy, the Hungarian girl, what I knew there in Auschwitz, she kept Anya close by to her. After the war always for Nancy to give a nice reward, but I didn't know even her full name, and I never found. Mom used to mention Ravensbrück. Was Nancy with her there? Yeah, maybe it was there. I only know that Anya came out free by the Russians inside, and she came back to Sosnowiec before me. My liberation, it took longer. It was the last minutes of the war. I left Dachau. I went to be exchanged for German prisoners on the Swiss border, but we never came. I remember we got each a treasure box from the Swiss Red Cross, sardines, biscuits, chocolates. Some ate right away everything. I kept, of course, to have later. So at night, some tried to steal from me. With my typhus, I needed still much to rest, but this treasure was more to me than sleeping. Everybody up, line up in fives. Here was the end of our ride. Here to go by foot to the frontier. And I saw it's not everywhere my hell. It's still life things going on. We marched, we stopped. For hours we stood. What's going on? They're taking us back to Dachau. No, the Americans are coming. It was commotions and rumors, then shouts. The war is over! It was over. March back to the tracks, schnell! They didn't leave us go or put us on a freight train. The Americans will be in the next town. They can have you. On this train, no guards came. So really, we saw it's over now. In half hour, this train stopped. Hey, the Americans aren't here. Why, wait, let's go. So went one way, some another. We didn't know where we went. Halt, or I'll shoot. All of a sudden, it was Wehrmacht patrol. Little by little, they got all of us what were going to be free. Maybe 150 or 200 people over in the woods by a big lake. I didn't understand what was going on, but I was again here in German hands. They guarded us so we couldn't go away. There are machine guns set up all around us. We overheard they intend to murder every one of us tonight, right on this spot. Later in the afternoon, I went over close to the edge of the water. Loddick Spiegel! Loddick Spiegelman! Is that you? Shivik? You're alive? Shivik was from before the war, a friend from Bedzin near Sosnovic. We survived everything, just to get shot while the war ends. I still have a little coffee I organized. Let's make a last cup. Look, get him! One older guy, he was maybe 50, jumped into the lake. It was a far swim. Kabang, kabang! He made it. Do you have the strength to try? Just stay near the water. We can always try. Try it when the real shooting starts. So it came night. We were terrible frightened. We sat and waited. It was crying and praying. So long we survived, and now we wanted only that they shoot, because we had not else to do. In the early morning, we were still all alive. They're gone. It's a miracle. There's not one German left, just their guns. What happened? I was lying near the head officer's tent. His girlfriend was arguing with him. She begged him to let us go. She warned him he'd be punished. The war is over, she cried. Let's run away. She saved us. So we went one way, some another. Maybe we can get food at one of these farms. Halt! On the road was another patrol, also catching Jews. So we had again in the same story. They found 40 or 50 of us and closed us in a big barn. We heard all night shooting in the mountains around. Our guards, they all ran away. So this next morning, we were still again alive. Come, Shivik, let's find a bunker. Let's find a bunker until things quiet down. We came by a garage, so I went over. Please, sir, we need a place to hide till the Americans get here. Go away. I don't want to get involved. Have pity. It's just for a day or two. Well, there's a pit in the back. It's none of my business if you want to lie in it. Over a day we lay there. Then 2 Vermont came. Hey, which way is Innsbruck? That way, officer. But wait, 2 Jews are back there hiding in a pit. They were in so big a hurry to run, they didn't look to us. They didn't even look to us. Let's go, Schmidt. We'll find a safer spot. We passed a few horses and peeked inside. Well, look, nobody seems to be home here. A part of this house, it was a barn. We can hide up here under the hay. From the walls we heard shooting. Schnell, Elsa, pack what you can. Hurry! This may become a battlefield any minute. The villagers are running away. Fine. The farther the better. Kaboom! The far side from our barn fell down a little. My God, well, what happened? The Vermont is retreating and blew up the bridge to seal their trail. It means we're free. Let's look around. It's safe now. Uh-huh. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I went myself to the empty house. Milk. Slurp, slurp. I drank so long, I didn't know when I stopped. I told you it's safe now. I got you some milk. Milk? So we both drank too much milk and looked around. Ah, chickens! He was a farm boy. Shivik. He killed each day a chicken and milked us a cow. I used to dream about chickens. Look, I found clothes upstairs. We can throw away our stripes. There, I'm starting to feel human again. Me too, except getting nauseous. Our stomachs got a shock to eat milk and chickens. We got very sick of diarrhea. We lay a few days in bad shape until the Americans came. Hands up! Identify yourselves! I told how we survived to here. And from Dachau, we came over by train to all. That's just my men signaling that they found a cache of German ammo. Those Krauts can't hurt you anymore. The only ones left are dead or dying. This house will be part of our base camp. But I guess you boys can stay if you keep the joint clean and make our beds. Want some chocolate? Maybe for later, thank you. So we worked for the Americans, and they liked me that I can speak English. Thanks for the shine, Willie. It's okay, Sergeant. Don't even mention. They gave to us food cans and gifts and called me Willie. One time, it came a woman with officials to the house. Arrest those two Jewish thieves! They stole my husband's clothes. We never looked on what clothes we took. Robbers! You'll have to give them back. You'll have to give them back, Willie. So let her take, I told. We have still 3 full valises. Ah, look at the time. We have to hurry. Now with my windows. But before I forget, I put here a box. What you'll be happy to see. I thought I lost it, but you see how I saved? Mom's diaries? No. On those, it's no more to speak. Those, it's gone, finished. But below my closet, I find these snapshots, some still from Poland. Thanks. Come, you'll look after the windows. You'll look after the windows. This is Uncle Herman? Yeah, he was Anya's oldest brother. He ran in Lodz, the family hosiery factory. In 1939, him and Hella came to see the World's Fair, and they stayed here. The war in 1950. You were a baby. We came also here from Stockholm to this house. I liked better to stay in Sweden. I had, again, a good business, but Anya insisted to be with the only surviving one of all her family. And oi, when Herman died from hit-and-run driver in 1964, Anya started then also to die a little. So here, it's their 2 kids, Lolik and Lonya, which stayed by us in Sosnovic in the war. Lolik, he then came out alive from Auschwitz. So now he's an engineer, a big shot college professor. And the big shot college professor, the little girl, she finished with reshoot in the ghetto. This brother of Anya, Joseph, he was a sign painter, commercial artist, always said, you resemble. And had in Lodz a girlfriend, a beauty, but she liked money and nightclubs. Then the Germans took away the factory from Anya's family. So he had less money, and he left him, and she left him, and he killed himself. The middle brother, Levik, he ran with his wife to Russia when the war came. But when he saw how it was there, he wanted to run back. Those who ran to Russia, they put to Siberia as traders. But to smuggle back over the borders cost a fortune. I sent some money. In 1938, I needed cash to my factory. He gave. So now I helped him come back to his wife's family in Warsaw. In Warsaw, you know how it was. If they stayed only in Russia, they still now maybe be alive. Anya's parents and grandparents, her big sister, Tosha, little Bibi, and our Rishu, all that is left. It's the photos. What about your side of the family? My side, my father and Fella and her 4 kids, I told you, got taken in 42. Zosa and Yaja, my younger sister, had only 1 kid each and came with me to the ghetto before they all died later to Auschwitz. Marcus, my closest brother, and Moses went to a camp to Bleckjamber soon after I came out from the army. I sent them money by the Red Cross. I hid it into bread. I wrote them, "This bread, it's expensive. Eat it very slow and careful." I met after the war a guy. He saw them die, but wouldn't tell me how. My other brothers, Leon and Binek, they deserted out from the Polish army to Lemberg in Russia. A family of peasant Jews kept them safe. Pinnock, he married one of them, but Leon got sick. Doctors said it's typhus, and he died of a bad appendix. So only my little brother, Pinnock, came out from the war alive. From the rest of my family, it's nothing left. Not even a snapshot. These photos we got from Rishu's Polish governess. We gave her our valuable things to hold until the war is over. But afterwards, she said, all these valuables the Nazis grabbed away. We didn't believe, but the pictures at least she gave back. Can I take these home? Yeah, it's for you. But wait, I'll put them in to an envelope. The cigar box I can need for, whoa. You see, my nitrostat helps me right away. But I talk too much. I'll lie a little down. What about the storm windows? Alone you can't now. How to do? And I'm now too tired for this. Maybe tomorrow will do. Impossible. I'm too busy. I'll come out again next week. Then now we must do it. Great. Have another heart attack. Look, you'll just have to pay a bit more for heat for a few days longer. I'm sorry I made you talk so much, Pop. So never mind, darling. Always a pleasure when you visit. And there's the end of chapter 4. Saved, if you recall, that was the name of the book, of that particular chapter 4. So as you can see, the story is, in fact, winding down. What you see on the screen is the final chapter in volume 2 of our presentation and reading of the classic graphic novel Mouse. My friends, it's a tale that is troubling, but needs to be told, needs to be heard. And I hope, at the very least, you can appreciate a personal story like this that comes from a point in history that is, if it's not heeded, we're doomed to repeat. Let's hope that this type of inhumanity to our fellow humans is something that we can leave in the history books. Well, thank you for joining me, Mr. Tony, aka the chap in the cap. I'm running out of hats, so I guess we're going to have to be wrapping up the series. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Join me next time, 2 weeks from now, when we complete our final chapter of Mouse, a Survivor's Tale, Volume 2. Until then, see you next time.